Remember those Saturday mornings? The smell of toast in the air, cartoons on the TV, and that sudden burst of color when the commercials came on? You'd be watching your favorite superhero when, boom, a jingle would start, a family would smile at the camera, and you'd suddenly need that new cereal, that toy, that car. The 1970s were a golden age of advertising, a time when TV commercials weren't just ads. They were little stories, little dreams beamed right into your living room. They taught us about new products, made us laugh, and sometimes, if we're honest, scared us a little. Looking at you, Green Giant. These weren't just pitches. They were part of our childhood. Today, we're looking back at 10 classic American TV commercials that defined the 1970s. So grab a glass of Tang, settle into that avocado green couch, and let's take a trip down memory lane. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, Alka-Seltzer. Back in the 70s, if your tummy was upset, there was only one song that could fix it. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Alka-Seltzer didn't just sell medicine. They sold a musical experience. 2 tablets dropped into a glass of water, fizzing like a science experiment in your kitchen. And then, bam, relief. These commercials were quirky, even a little dramatic. One showed a man groaning on the couch after a big meal. His wife handed him the little foil pack like it was a miracle cure. Another had a cartoon stomach with a tiny fire inside. Put out by the fizzing hero. What made it special? It turned a boring pill into a ritual. You didn't just take Alka-Seltzer, you performed it. But over time, newer, faster medicines came along. Pills you could swallow dry, chewables, liquids, and the fizzing glass became kind of old-fashioned. Still, if you hear those words, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, you can't help but smile and maybe reach for a glass of water. Mikey likes it. Life cereal. Ah, Mikey, the picky brother, the one who never liked anything. Then came the Life cereal commercial that changed breakfast forever. 2 older brothers, desperate to test their new cereal on someone, turn to Mikey. He won't eat it, they say. He hates everything. But then he tries it. His eyes light up, and he says those 3 magic words. Mikey likes it. It wasn't just an ad. It felt like a real moment. A small victory in the war against picky eaters. Parents across America breathed a sigh of relief. Maybe their kids would try something new. The commercial was so popular, it ran for years. Mikey even became a minor celebrity. But tastes changed. Cereals got sweeter, crunchier, loaded with marshmallows. Life cereal, with its simple oats and honey flavor, started to feel plain. Still, if you were a kid who didn't like what was on your plate, you were definitely called Mikey at least once. The most interesting man in the world, before he was Dos Equis. Wait, what? He wasn't in the 70s? No, not yet. But in the 70s, beer commercials had their own kind of charm. Take Miller High Life. Their ads didn't have mysterious men with cigars. They had champagne of bottled beers. One of the most famous campaigns showed elegant parties, waiters in tuxedos, and a voiceover that made you believe this golden beer was for sophisticated people. And then there was Budweiser, with its team of Clydesdales trotting through snowy fields. Majestic, calm, American. Beer ads in the 70s weren't about edgy humor. They were about image, relaxation, celebration. A cold one after a long day. No wild stunts. No celebrity cameos. Just good times, good friends, and a frosty mug. As the decades rolled on, beer ad got louder, flashier, funnier. But in the 70s, they were classy. Sometimes we could use a little more class. I've fallen and I can't get up. Not yet, but close. Okay, that famous line came later. But in the 70s, medical alert systems were just starting to appear on TV. One of the earliest was Life Call, though their big ad didn't hit until the 80s. Still, the idea was forming. What if you're alone and need help? Commercials showed older adults cooking, slipping, falling, then pressing a button around their neck. A calm voice would answer, "Help is on the way." These ads were gentle, but powerful. They spoke to a growing concern, aging parents living on their own. They weren't scary. They were reassuring. A little device could mean the difference between fear and safety. The style was simple, no actors screaming, just quiet moments, soft lighting, and a promise. You're not alone. As technology improved, the systems got smaller, smarter, but the heart of the message stayed the same. In a world that was changing fast, these ads offered peace of mind. They're great. Tony the Tiger. Frosted Flakes weren't just a cereal. They were energy. And Tony the Tiger? He wasn't just a mascot. He was a lifestyle. With his deep voice, bright blue fur, and that famous growl, he told kids, "Eat Frosted Flakes, and you'll be great too." Whether he was playing football, racing cars, or just flexing his muscles, Tony made sugary flakes feel heroic. Kids didn't just eat the cereal, they believed in it. What made it special? Tony wasn't preachy. He wasn't a dad figure. He was a cool, confident friend who happened to be a tiger. And that jingle, their G-r-r-reat, was practically a war cry at breakfast time. Over the years, nutrition standards changed. Sugar got a bad name. But Tony, he's still around. A true survivor of the cereal aisle. Because greatness never goes out of style. Where's the beef? Wendy's. Long before viral memes, there was one little question that took over America. Where's the beef? In 1984, Clara Peller, a 79-year-old woman with a sharp voice and sharper eyes, stared at a giant burger with a tiny patty and asked it. But the idea started in the late 70s. Wendy's was already pushing the idea that their burgers had more meat, more flavor, more honesty. The ad showed side-by-side comparisons. Big bun, small beef. Wendy's? Thick, juicy, and square. Because it wasn't trimmed to fit a round bun. It wasn't just about burgers. It was about value. About not getting fooled. Clara's line became a national catchphrase. Politicians even used it during debates. But as fast food chains copied Wendy's style, the slogan lost some of its punch. And sadly, Clara passed away in the late 80s. Still, whenever someone questions something that looks too good to be true, we all hear that voice. Where's the beef? Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In the 70s, insurance wasn't exciting, but State Farm made it comforting. Their jingle, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, was everywhere, sung in homes, hummed in cars, stuck in your head after the 6 o'clock news. The commercials showed real-life moments. A tree falling on a house, a fender bender, a burst pipe, and then State Farm arrives. Calm, helpful, ready. They weren't flashy. No explosions, no celebrities, just neighbors helping neighbors. What made it special? It felt trustworthy. In a decade of gas lines and uncertainty, knowing someone had your back meant a lot. The jingle is still used today, but in the 70s, it was fresh, a promise in song form. And honestly, we could all use a good neighbor. Snap, Crackle, Pop, Rice Krispies. No list of 70s commercials is complete without the elves. Snap, Crackle, and Pop weren't just mascots. They were personalities, each with their own voice, their own look, their own way of celebrating breakfast. The commercials were simple. A bowl of milk, the magical sounds, and 3 tiny guys dancing on a spoon. Sometimes they went on adventures. One went to space. Another saved the day with a science experiment. What made it special? It turned a quiet morning into a show. Kids didn't just eat Rice Krispies, they listened to them. That crackling sound was like a secret language between cereal and child. As cartoons got more complex, the elves stayed simple, loyal, a little corny, and we love them for it. Even today, when you pour that milk, you wait for the snap, the crackle, the pop. I can't believe it's not butter. In the 70s, people were starting to worry about fat, and butter, it was getting a bad rap. Enter imperial margarine, and later, I can't believe it's not butter. The commercials were playful. A woman would spread it on toast, taste it, and say, I can't believe it's not butter. It wasn't just about taste. It was about tricking your taste buds. The ad played on surprise, on that little moment of confusion. Wait, this isn't real butter? It made margarine feel like a miracle. Healthier, cheaper, and almost better. But as we learn more about trans fats and processed foods, Margarine fell out of favor. Now, people are going back to butter. Funny how things come full circle. Still, that line, it's forever burned into our brains. The checks in the mail, check writing culture. We're not talking about one brand, but a whole era of commercials. In the 70s, if you bought something from a TV ad, you sent a check. You'd circle your order on a paper form, write a check, put it in a stamped envelope, and drop it in the mailbox. Commercials for Charles of the Ritz, Mr. Microphone, or the Veg-O-Matic all ended the same way. Send your check or money order to no credit cards, no one-click buying, just trust, paper, and the postal service. What made it special? It felt real. You wrote your name. You signed it. You waited days, sometimes weeks, for your prize. That delay made it more exciting. When the package finally arrived, pure joy. Today, everything's instant. But back then, patience was part of the fun. We didn't just buy things, we earned them one stamp at a time. The 70s gave us bold colors, big hair, and commercials that felt like part of the family. They weren't trying to be cool or slick. They were just trying to connect. Maybe you remember begging for Frosted Flakes, or watching your dad write a check for a Ginsu knife, or laughing when Mikey actually liked something. Those little moments, they stayed with us. If these memories brought a smile to your face, go ahead and like this video. Share it with someone who lived through the 70s, or someone who wishes they had. Drop a comment below. What was your favorite commercial from this era? Was it Alka-Seltzer, Tony the Tiger, or something we didn't mention? And if you love stories from the past, subscribe to Nostalgic America. We're here every week, flipping through the photo album of American life, one memory at a time. Until next time, keep the memories alive.